Well, hey, this is Brother D. Cruz, your Life Applications Officer. I'm going to do this video before I go to sleep tonight. I already did a rough draft of it, and it was too long. I love to run my mouth. I apologize. So I'm going to try. I'm just going to run through my notes. I was reading the paper today, and it just insults my intelligence about the fuss over Donald Trump. You know, the hatred and the bigotry towards Donald Trump. Um, and I mean, the whole time Barack Obama was in office, I said not a word. Never liked the guy, but I said not a word, not a single complaint until election time. Then that's when I began to fight for who was going to be in the next place, and that's when I began to talk down on Barack Obama because I was ready for a break from that nonsense. Now, Barack Obama might have been a Democratic extremist, in my opinion. So, on that note, what's wrong with a Republican extremist coming in and showing you what it feels like to go the opposite direction? Okay? Now, I really don't know where all these liberals stand with politics. But from the moment before Donald Trump even, well, I should say the minute Donald Trump beat the other Republicans. And I think if, who was the other one? Rubio and I forget the other one's name. I think they would have been. I think they would have went through just as much hatred as Donald Trump um, was. What is going through, but they weren't as right on as Donald Trump is. So, again, as I said in another video, Donald Trump won this election based on the policies of the White House, just like any other president. Now, maybe you didn't know that someone could win that was an extremist, if you want to call him that, like Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump supposedly he wasn't really even a Republican at first. But when he stepped in, all the Republicans that were so angered by what Barack Obama had pulled off, and the way things been going for the last 8 years, okay, or more, they understood. They all stepped into their position to vote for this man because they understood his language. They understood, his plan to make America great again. Okay? But again, I'm going to say it again. He only did it. Don't get, people should get mad at the Supreme Court. Get out of here. People should get mad at the Supreme Court or whatever, like I said before, governs the White House. Whatever eldership is behind the White House. That's where people should get mad at. Because Donald Trump is only doing with what he was able to do within the policies of the White House. You're mad because you didn't know. He did. He knew what he could get away with. You didn't know he could get away with what he's getting away with. You didn't know that he could actually deport people for being here illegally. Or you didn't think that anybody would ever have the guts or use that right to do so. But if you want to talk about crossing the line, okay, Kathy Griffin got Trump beat and most of the Democrats beat at crossing the line. When she pulled that little stunt, this week, the Trump head of fire, okay, to cut off Trump head of fire. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a Democrat for you. That is a real Democrat right there. That is more extreme than extreme. That's so extreme, it's immature and retarded. Okay? After hearing about that, reading about that in the paper, Donald Trump can do anything he wants to do. He can say whatever he wants to say. Okay? I mean, he can shut them all down for all I care after that blow. He can shut all of them down, send them all to prison for. He can go and put all his foes behind bars for all I care. After some nonsense like that. Okay, you want to call Donald Trump a fascist. Donald Trump is not controlling your life. You get to be just as pagan, okay, and sexually immoral, okay, just as strung out on drugs, okay, just as pagan, liberal, and nasty and violent as you were before Barack Obama walked out of office. And Donald Trump didn't make you go out there to the streets and make him look good. You did that on your own because you were in the shadows just waiting to show your true colors. Okay? Like I said before, whether these people that attacked Trump supporters were actually voters or not, they were supportive of the Democratic Party. And the Democratic Party, nobody in the Democratic Party, including Obama, decided to stand up and say enough is enough. Don't make me have to come down with martial law and put a stop to it. Barack Obama did not make one single threat or warning. He just made himself look good on TV. You know how he does. Okay. I understand Donald Trump. A lot of people don't understand Donald Trump, but I understand him. I'm not saying that he needs to be an extremist, but after having a opposite extremist like Barack Obama, maybe we need an extremist to put some things back. Maybe we need an extremist so that the country doesn't, destroy itself or self-destruct all overnight. But Donald Trump ain't keeping you from your little pagan, sexually immoral, bummy lives. He really ain't. You get to carry on, little soldier, little toy soldier. You get to carry on and be the bum you've been all this time. Ain't nobody stopping you. But while you're being immature, can all the mature people please rise and help us keep this country great? Okay? Amen. Donald Trump has not yet dealt with his foes and his enemies for their blasphemy and their hate. I think he should. I would. I would have. Donald Trump, all he did was criticize Kathy Griffin for what she did. It was, I guess, I guess these are smart Democrats that decided to punish her for what she did. Okay? Way to go, Democrats. That's the only thing you done right within the last, I don't know, 8 months. Illegal immigration. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people I see every day that I feel are dangerous for this country. They look down their nose at us, Americans. And they come here with this chip on their shoulder like America owes them something. We owe you a free plane ride back to wherever you came from. If you don't like our ways, you don't belong here. Somebody to come over here to be to make our money and live on our land, but they don't think that they should have to interject themselves as a resident. You think this is a free you think this is a dollar store? You just want to come over here and shop and bogart your way out? You don't belong here. You don't belong here. And I believe that whole thing of the people that were attacking Trump supporters is because of illegal immigration. A lot of them people that were putting their hands on people at Trump rallies were illegal immigrants. A lot of people in this country that would invest in terrorism are illegal immigrants. A lot of people that are being tailed by the FBI every day are illegal immigrants. Okay? And I see their attitude every day. And you got, see, this is the thing about Democrats. Democrats feed off of, they eat off of the poor. Okay? They eat off the poor. They eat off of those that really don't know what they're voting for. They really don't know where the real wars and battles are. All they know is that if you invest more money into their libido, they'll enjoy their sex lives. Their little crazy, fancy, goofy sex lives more. If you invest money in their hatred, they can control other people and make it hard for other people to live here. Okay? Somebody that doesn't feel that they should stand up on their own 2 feet and work. This country's all about work and work for their money. Okay? And keep their legs closed till they get married. Okay? When you have children, you have the money to invest in them children. It's a choice. It's not an accident. But if you think it's okay to just be sloppy like that, okay, you don't deserve to vote. You don't deserve to be in politics. Politics are not for the sloppy and the uneducated who don't know nothing about politics. But I know a lot of these illegal people in this country. I see them every day. They need to learn what it means to be an American. They don't know. Okay? And by the time they find out, it's going to be because somebody got sick and tired of their nonsense and punched them and knocked them out. Like the Arab guy that gets on one of the buses that I ride and blasts his Arab music as if he's pushing his religion and his culture on us without us showing that we're interested in his culture, in his religion. Okay? When the sign clearly says on the bus, if you're going to listen to music, you have to be wearing earbuds. And I'm surprised. These black folks, they love, going up against Donald Trump, which is actually unreachable to them. But this guy's right there. Okay? They don't mind beating up on white people for the dumbest, stupidest reasons. But they can't tell this, they can't tell this guy, hey man, why don't you wear headphones? Like everybody else. Look around you, dude. Everybody's wearing headphones. This is America. I'm tired of people coming to this country thinking this country owes them something. It don't owe you nothing. Anybody that comes into this country is privileged to be here. So, let's start with the illegal immigrants. Because I'm interested in finding out how the people that are legal, how did you get legal? When you don't want to connect with other Americans. When you think you're supposed to come here and have your own space and keep Americans out of your space. Okay? You trying to be little China in America or little Saudi Arabia in America. I never in all my life felt that was fair. I think everybody should be living together. There shouldn't be anybody having their own neighborhoods. Everybody should be living together and sharing space. Okay? Donald Trump might be the only person that sees it that way besides me. This is America. There ain't enough room in this country for everybody to have their own little, you know what I'm saying? It's bad enough that half of California belongs to the Spanish. Everything is sand or, what is it? Sand or loss. Everything has Spanish names to it. And I've been told that if, don't go to California if you got a problem with Mexican people or Latinos or any of that. Well, I thought I was an American citizen. Okay, I didn't know that, I got to worry about, stepping on some Spanish person's toe if I go to Miami, Florida. I didn't know that, certain parts of Maryland, I'm not allowed to go to certain parts of Maryland, certain parts of town in Maryland, because the Spanish people don't want me in there. They only want Spanish people in there. I hope you're not legal, and I hope Donald Trump finds people like that to deport out of here. Nobody has a right to come over here with that kind of attitude. Okay? So I know a little bit about these illegal immigrants. I know how they're being a problem. They're getting on my last nerve. Okay? I love everybody. But on the notion, on the basis that we are all Americans and we all have the same cause. Okay? There's no peace in, you doing your thing over here and and all this is yours and you doing your thing over there and all that's yours. You doing your thing over there and that's all yours and When we cross each other, don't communicate, don't talk. Try very much not to have to stop and ask for questions or directions. You know, just try to, what I'm saying, you Chinese, you shouldn't be dealing with these black folks. You black, you shouldn't be dealing with these white folks. You Arab, you shouldn't be dealing with these Chinese folks. You Japanese, you shouldn't be dealing with Chinese folks, Arab folks, white folks, nobody. You Spanish, you think you better than everybody, depending on whether you're Mexican, Latino, or Puerto Rican, or whatever you are. You think you better than everybody, and then there's some of y'all that think everybody owes you something. And then I got to deal with black folks. Some of them, being they feel that Donald Trump wants to deport them, I don't know, God help me, I don't know where they got that. If you're black, okay? If you're black, you are an American citizen. That's why you're called black. Black is not a African name. It's an American term. Oh my God. If you are dumb enough to think that you have to worry about deportation, maybe you should be deported. If you're black and you've been in this country all your life, you were one of the survivors of the slaves, and you think Donald Trump is worried about deporting you, maybe you should be deported for being so stupid. Okay? That's the last time I'm going to say that. And I don't understand where black folks get to saying, like this lady said today, who needs him? Well, hold up. Who needed Barack Obama? What did he do for black folks? He didn't do nothing for you. That's why you so angry. That's why you still got a chip on your shoulder. Because Barack Obama didn't do squat for you, black woman. He didn't do nothing for you. Quit sleepwalking. Quit sleep talking. Donald Trump must be doing something right. Because the last time somebody went through this much abuse and this much hatred, I think it was Jesus Christ. And they nailed him to a cross. Did you hear about that guy that brought the weapons into the Trump Tower? That's all over the news. Along with the Katie Griffin story. Or the Kathy Griffin story. Sorry. The Muslim ban. Can you trust so-called peaceful Islam? I don't. I don't. I don't insult them or say anything to them. All I'm saying is, if any of them ain't legal, please get them out of here. If there's any so-called peaceful Muslims in this country that ain't legal, this is a bad time. And why are all these Muslims trying to get into this country? Why? Why are all these Muslims trying to get into this country? There's more Muslims trying to get into this country since Trump stepped to the throne than the whole entire Barack Obama's reign. And I really believe Trump is doing the right thing by banning them, because of course they want to get in here and pay and make you suffer because they don't like him. Okay? Like it's their business not to like him. This was the United States. This ain't Saudi Arabia. There ain't no Sharia law up in here. It's not your business to like Donald Trump. Unless you've been a peaceful Muslim all your life. And you bring in all this liberalism into the Islamic community, which we know you're not. So I don't understand. Just like black folks, I don't understand what black folks have to do with Donald Trump. I don't understand what Islam has to do with Donald Trump, except for the fact that the truth of ISIS is going to be dealt with according to the way Donald Trump calls it. And if it wasn't true, you wouldn't be so painful about it. You wouldn't be so upset about it. You wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be so anti-Trump if you was really, 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 like I said in another video, there's two muzzles. The only difference between peaceful Islam and ISIS is one is waiting to a certain time. Okay? But this one is constantly causing mayhem. But after mayhem wins, this one gets to win too. Mayhem is going to do a favor for the so-called peaceful. See? Y'all sleepwalking. Y'all don't understand that. I do. And I believe Donald Trump does too. And I'm not hating on Muslims. Okay? But I like Brigitte Gabrielle said. Okay? So-called peaceful Muslims versus ISIS is irrelevant. Okay? Is irrelevant. And over there in their country, they kill their own people for the dumbest reasons every day. And it ain't just Christians. It's everybody. They're always killing their people over there. But then they come over here to this country, and how many people in these recent attacks in the West were Muslim that got killed? How many Muslims got killed in Orlando, Florida? How many Muslims got killed in this last attack, okay, in Europe? How many Muslims got killed? How many peaceful Muslims got killed? See what them two Muslims are doing? Peaceful Muslims aren't getting killed like whites are. Like whites are. Okay? But do you trust 100% so-called peaceful Islam? Do you know anything about peaceful Islam? Or you just sleepwalking and sleep talking? Okay? Do you know Muslim cultures like the back of your hand? Like I know black people like the back of my hand. That's why I talk about them like a dog. That's why I also stand up against racism towards them. It goes both ways because why? I know my people. I know where they fail. I know where they rise. Okay? And I don't pull no punches on either way. I don't pull any punches. I'm gonna call it what it is. Okay? I know my people. Okay? And when a race war goes on, just for clarification of understanding what I just said, if a race war happens, I'll be on the side of white folks. Okay? Because back in the day, the wars were the problem of white folks. I agree. But nowadays, this is all about black folks taking that bad reputation they got, okay, and turning it into a religion of hatred. Okay? I mean, black folks today have a religion. It's called Let's Hate White People. Okay? But when they was fighting for the freedom, they was trying to brace white people. They was trying to embrace white people so that they could have that freedom. Now that they got it, who you think you lying to? No, I'm going to call it out for what it is. I'm not pulling no punches either way. Okay? But these Muslims, I don't trust them because I don't see them being honest. I'm sorry. There's some nice Muslims out there. I see nice Muslims every day, but they're not being completely honest when it comes to terrorism. And you got all these peaceful Muslims playing the race card. Why? We didn't say nothing about you. You said you're a peaceful Muslim, right? We ain't talking about you. We talking about ISIS. Why are you getting all upset? We wasn't talking about you, Miss Peaceful Muslim Lady. We know your little uh 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 Haji burqa wearing self didn't do nothing wrong. But where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where is your husband? I don't never see your husband. You talk about him, but you don't never show him. I don't trust that. I don't trust that. I know about these illegal immigrants. I know about these so-called peaceful Muslims. I don't trust them. I'm sorry. I don't trust them. Just like right now with all this stuff going on, a lot of white folks don't trust black folks. I don't blame them. Okay? How many white folks was in all these riots compared to melanated people, blacks, Latinos, okay, and Mexicans, and even some Arabs, all melanated people, okay? How many whites was involved in these attacks? How many whites were involved in these riots? See, when you was doing a peaceful protest, the white people went out there and did peaceful protests with you, but when it got late and dark outside, okay, it turned to riots. Where was the white people at? I don't see nothing but dark skin. Where's the white people at? I don't blame them. They don't trust blacks. These blacks today, as I said in a recent video, are not the survivals of slavery. This is some demonic nonsense, okay, going on today. That, okay, I choose not to be a part of. Not only for my own well-being, but I don't want them demons and them sick, stupid philosophies falling off on me. I don't want it. I don't want no parts of it. It has nothing to do with this country. It does not fit into a free country, a free society. It doesn't fit. I don't want no parts of it. And a lot of the attitudes of these Arabs, these Mexicans, and some of these illegals, their attitude don't fit into American policies and structures either. Okay? A lot of you liberals don't care about this because you're sleepwalking, and while you sleepwalking, you sleep talking. Okay? Because you don't care about the facts. All you care about is what's in it for you. You don't care about the facts. Why are all these Muslims trying to get into this country anyway? There's more Muslims trying to get into this country while Donald Trump is banning them than there was the whole time Barack Obama was running. And I know what they're doing, and I know why Donald Trump. If any man that gets up there and says his piece like Donald Trump did, of course you're going to ban your enemies from coming into this country. I don't even trust these college kids. I was doing security over at Pitt University. And the way some of them college kids act, I don't trust them. See, people are so far away from Jesus that they don't know what looks right or what looks good. They make up in 2 seconds what's okay and what looks right. But it takes careful study. It takes watching people and learning about people. And I'm sorry, anybody who thinks that they don't have to watch their back in this country for terrorism, you're sleepwalking and sleep talking. Okay? Somebody take his hand and lock him in the bathroom until he wakes up. That way, if he go crazy, he can just stick his head in the toilet until he wakes up. Maybe that toilet water will wake him up a little bit. Okay? But, you got all these Muslims trying to get in this country. You don't like Donald Trump. Why are you trying to get in here? He's not your president. And you're not even registered to be an American citizen yet. So why are you trying to get in here to a country that you claim is anti-Muslim? Which it's not, but you claim it is. So why you trying to come in? Why are you trying to come in here? I know what you want to do. You want to come in here and do America like you did Europe and Germany. I know what you're trying to do. And Donald Trump said, it ain't happening. Call me a fascist all you want to. It ain't happening. Fascist that. Okay? And Republicans didn't retort to violence and blasphemy and defaming people. Who is the Kathy Griffin for the Republican Party? Do we have any Kathy Griffins in the Republican Party? Probably not. I'm not saying Donald Trump's a Christian. I'm not saying that half the Republicans or even a quarter of them are Christians. But I tell you what, they know, they believe in traditional laws and morals and rules, policies that Barack Obama and all these, I don't know where we get these liberals from, wherever these people come from, that are all trying to destroy. You want to destroy every bit of authority that is in place in our Constitution and our Bill of Rights and so on and so on, but yet you want to call Donald Trump a fascist. Because Donald Trump doesn't have 100 different pagan rituals that he needs our government to invest money in to fulfill. So he's a fascist because he's an old school, I call him, Republican. I tell you what, we got JFK, MLK, and we got Jesus Christ. Okay? Now, on my own board, on the wall, in my house, I'm going to put Donald Trump up there as number 4 of the presidents that went through the most hatred, in the politicians that went through the most hatred in their history and during their reign. And if Donald Trump gets assassinated, oh boy, you know what? If Donald Trump gets assassinated, I'm going to talk about him and say everything good about him to the day I die. You're going to assassinate me for keep bringing his name up. Okay? Because I believe you really need to leave a man alone and let him do his job. Just be ready to vote for Hillary Clinton if she's still living when he get done. Just be ready to vote for whatever knucklehead Democrat pops up. Okay? That's whatever's anti-Trump. Like the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette is anti-Trump. So be ready. It doesn't matter. As long as they're anti-Trump, you ain't going to care. But Republicans didn't retort to violence and blasphemy and defaming people. Democrats did that, especially at this time. Liberal Democrats have done just that. And not only to Donald Trump, but to many other people, anybody that disagree with him. Anybody that calls anything out for what it is, instead of just throwing money at everything. And don't care what paganism they're investing their money into. But Donald Trump woke up the leftist pagan demons. They done went from sleepwalking and sleep talking to Kathy Griffin taking a sawed-off head of Donald Trump with blood on it and lighting it on fire. And then you think I was going to listen to people say, who needs them? Well, whatever president Kathy Griffin is voting for, I'm not voting for him or her. Okay? I mean, this is childish and immature. Okay? This is childish and immature. Okay? Kathy Griffin was childish and immature. People love immaturity. They call it comedy. But where do we begin to be serious about the stuff that needs to be serious? Where do we begin to draw the line? Like this woman said, who needs Donald Trump? Who needs any president? You just want your pagan needs met. You just want your way. You just want to be in control. And Donald Trump showed you. There's more right. There's more of the right than there is, just as much as the right as there is of the left, still in this country. Okay? Donald Trump woke them demons up. I really do. I really believe that. He woke them demons up. But Donald Trump is a sign of the times. I'm not saying he's anything spiritual or special, but he is a sign of the times. And all this mess that's going on is more about the control of these liberal pagan Americans who are all in their own underwear instead of what's right for the whole country and right for all. We live in a country today where people hate Christians for what? And don't give me that nonsense because of what they did way back in some past where you don't even have enough history on it. You know, the hatred that goes on in this country, I don't expect anybody to be hating on Donald Trump and know what they're talking about. To disagree with Trump, that's fine. But to be hating and blaspheming and defaming the guy, I can't listen to you. I can't take you seriously. I really can't. I think it's more about the time than it is about Donald Trump. So there you have it. Donald Trump must have done something right. Okay? Or he wouldn't be going through this. That's my take on it. So, that's me signing out. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. And if it's a good comment, a good question, I'll do a video on it. Until next time, talk to you soon. God bless. Have a great night.